Good afternoon, everybody. So, what are we doing this Sunday afternoon? We are going to be flying the Inibuilds Airbus A340-300 from Berlin back to London Heathrow. In the background, we are running Say Intentions, and it will be providing injection of aircraft and air traffic services for us to talk to along the way. I will be following a functional procedure to start the aircraft up. I better go and load that actually. I've got it on another monitor here, so I'm just popping a browser open to go find it. So the functional procedure is intentionally quite terse, so it cuts out a lot of the checks and balances that a real crew would do, so it brings it, just down to the bare bones. There are links for both a free trial of Say Intentions and the functional procedure in the notes of the video, so feel free to go and have a look at that. I'll be walking through that functional procedure to get the airplane up and running. So first things first, then, let's go and jump inside the airplane instead of standing outside. I'm going to go and turn off the head tracking for the moment. Okay, so this is the A340-300. It's one of the more modern ones because it's got the LCD screens instead of CRTs, but otherwise it should be fairly predictable, and I'm hoping I'll remember how it works. So, pre-flight, we press Alt and 1 to go overhead. It's worth pointing out actually before we go and do the flight, we've got the flight pre-filed with SimBrief, so we've got an operational flight plan. If we just pop open Navigraph and go and import the flight from SimBrief. There we go, EDDB, which is Berlin, to EGLL, which is Heathrow. So there's the flight, fairly straight line flight. And we can see here we're coming in runway 09 left, so let's go and have a look at that. ILS runway 09 left, add that to the route just to make it, clean it up and tidy it up. So that's kind of what we're expecting along the way. If we go and pop open LittleNavMap as well, we can import the route into LittleNavMap as well. So we can see there's us in amongst all of the airplanes that Say Intentions is injecting and controlling. So open flight plan from SimBrief, download flight plan, create it, don't save what I've already got, and there it is. We'll go and do the same thing again here. So runway 09 left, if we go and show the arrivals, and we want the ILS runway 09 left approach, insert, and let's just go and have a double check of that to make sure it looks okay, and that doesn't look quite right somehow. So there's obviously a transition that this one was using. It's the LAM transition. Insert, and then turn that focus back off. I wish it wouldn't do that. And there we go. So we've got a fairly straight line in now. Good. It's interesting how there's different rendering standards between the different systems. I'm also going to go and open the aircraft performance for the A340-300. If you go and look in my Ko-fi shop, there's a link in the notes for that as well. You can go and get my performance files. So I made performance files for LittleNavMap for every aeroplane available to make my life easy. So there we go. There's the basic route. We'll go and zoom this in down here and leave it there for the moment. Back to the aeroplane. So first things first, let's go and get the batteries switched on. So BAT 1 on, BAT 2 on, APU, BAT on. External power is available, so external power on. Strobes should be on auto, they are. Nav and logo can go to 2. APU master goes to on. Then wait a few seconds and then start the APU up. Oxygen crew supply goes to on. Emergency exit light goes to armed. No smoking to auto. And then further overhead, we're going to go and rotate the ADIRS, Air Data Inertial Reference System, to nav. I've got it set to instant alignment to save us some time. Down in the cockpit, we're going to go and check the brightnesses. They all look absolutely fine. And we're going to program the flight plan with SimBrief. So we're going to go and pop into the tablet. We're not going to plan the flight, we've already done it. So we're going to go into My Flight. and we're going to import from SimBrief, and in it comes. And then come back to the payload app, payload and fueling, and we're going to import everything from SimBrief, so that will get the fuel and the passenger load, and then we're going to go instant load fuel, instant load payload, and that's done everything we need to do. And then we go to the takeoff performance calculator, and we can sync the FMGS, see there's no data in it yet, that's fine. So then we can calculate the numbers, and that will get us our configuration ready for takeoff later. And we'll leave this on this page because we'll need to come back and click this button in a moment. So over on the MCDU, the multi-purpose control and display unit will clear out the messages that are stacked up in the MCDU, and then we'll go to we'll just check the database looks correct. It does. So then we're going to press init and do an init request. That will pull the flight plan from SimBrief into the MCDU. Then we go and check the winds, make sure they've come in as well. They have, and come back. Then we can go sideways, and we can go and fill in the block fuel and the zero fuel weight. So that populates that, it does the calculations, we can clear out the messages again. We got company message received, so we go MCDU, ATSU, AOC next, then received messages, and it will be the load sheet for us to confirm, so we'll accept it and return, and go back to the flight plan. So we're going to go and set the departure from Berlin. So let's go and check what was on the SimBrief flight plan. We're taking off runway 24 left with the Suki for November. So 24 left and the Suki for November standard instrument departure, and insert that into our flight plan. And then coming into Heathrow, we are doing the arrival, and we are expecting the Loga to Hotel Star and the 09 left approach. So Loga to 09 left then is the first thing to put in. ILS 09 left and Loga to Hotel. We'll just double check that. Yep, that's correct. And there's some vias here, and we had a look on here, didn't we? And we said it was the LAM transition to make it hook up correctly, and insert that. Okay, so that should be everything there. Then we go into performance, and this is where it comes back to having the tablet. So rather than plug these numbers in and refer backwards and forwards, we can just say send to FMGS. So that will send that across, and then we can do confirm, and that will populate everything and clear the message, go back to flight plan, and we are good to go with that as well. So the next thing after doing that is to go, and we don't have a physical attitude indicator backup, so we don't have to uncage anything. We're going to press comma to shortcut calibrating the altimeters. We're going to go over to the FGCP, the flight guidance control panel, which controls the autopilots. We're going to turn on the flight directors either side, and we need to know the altitude we're going to be climbing out to. So the first thing we're going to do here is go and tune the radio to the ATIS frequency. So I'm using a mobile app called Pocket Sky from Say Intentions, which means I don't have to keep bringing Say Intentions up in front of you. So I can go and tune in ATIS here at Berlin, which I'm just looking for on the list of radio frequencies. Here we go. So 12378. You will see it change here. We need to go and turn the radio on, otherwise it won't do anything.
You have information Charlie.
Information Charlie, that's the information we need.
Brandenburg Airport.
So we can immediately go over to clearance.
14500.
So clearance delivery is 121605. Remember that, Information Charlie. Clearance, Lufthansa 073 requesting clearance to London Heathrow with Information Charlie.
Lufthansa 073 cleared to London Heathrow via the Suki for November departure. Initial climb 5000. Departure on 121.13. Squawk 3411.
Cleared to London Heathrow via the Suki 4 November departure. Initial climb 5000. Departure 121.13. Squawk 3411. Lufthansa 073. So we can go while we're waiting for them to confirm that.
Lufthansa 073. Read back correct. Ground will be on 121.705.
Ground on 121.705. Lufthansa 073. Thank you. So we can go and clear these numbers and put in the squawk we want, which is 3411. We can go and turn this to automatic. It's already on down here. We won't put TCAS on
Ladies and
just yet.
gentlemen, welcome aboard Lufthansa Flight 73, departing from Berlin to
Okay,
London.
so transponder
We
is done,
kindly ask
and
you
we've
to
got
take
our
your
answer
seats
now.
according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins.
We've
or
been
under
given
the
clearance
seats in
for a
front of
climb
you.
to 5,000.
If you need any assistance, please do not
Okay,
hesitate
so
to contact
flight
any
directors
member of
on,
our crew.
altitude is in,
Thank you for
managed
choosing
speed,
to
managed
fly with
heading,
us
managed
today,
altitude.
and we wish you a pleasant journey.
Constraints are on. We can do a gross flight plan check. So if we go and switch this to plan mode and increase the range out to say 40 miles, and then we can scroll the legs in the flight plan page, and we can see our route to make sure there are no discontinuities along the way and to make sure the route looks broadly correct. So we're going west towards London basically, and here we come in. They've got another message has arrived while we've been doing this, and yeah, there's the run into Heathrow. Good, that all looks fine. So we'll put that back onto arc mode, bring this back to 10 miles ready for departure just so we get a nice clean view. And we'll go to MCDU menu, back to ATSU. We've got the final load sheet basically. Now the aeroplane has been loaded. And we can go receive messages and look in the load sheet, the latest one, and accept it. And return, go back to flight plan again. Clear the message out saying the load sheet message has been received. Okay, so we are going to prepare for pushback. So Alt 1 takes us overhead, seatbelt signs go to auto. External power can come off now because the APU is up and running. So then we need to jump back into the tablet, go to ground, remove the GPU, and then get ready for pushback. So, what are we going to do? We'll put the beacon light on first. This warning people we are about to go and start engines in a minute. And again, we'll do some other bits and pieces first. So, fuel boost pumps on first. And APU bleed on. And so we're ready to start the engines already. So now we're going to talk to ground. So I'm going to go and tune in ground 121.705, which should come here. There it goes. Berlin ground, Lufthansa 073, requesting pushback and engine start. Let's go and get Navigraph to see where we are.
Lufthansa 073, traffic passing behind you, AI320. Hold position.
Holding position, Lufthansa 073. So if we go and have a look, I think there's an A320 behind us apparently. Oh, there is as well.
Lufthansa 073, push start approved, face south.
Push and start approved, face south, Lufthansa 073. So if we will need to face south, we need the tail to go to the left. Okay. So we will request to go backwards to begin with, and you'll see the tractor somewhere around here. It's already under the nose loop. So take the parking brake off. Oh, there's another aeroplane there.
Alpine 72, Tango Juliet, taxi to parking via Lima 3. Papa 1, Bravo.
I'm going to stop this. What's he doing? Let him go first.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Lufthansa Flight 73, departing from Berlin to London. Our estimated flight time is about 90 minutes. Please pay close attention to the upcoming safety demonstration, as it contains important information even for our frequent flyers. Fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal clip into the buckle and pull to tighten. The seatbelt must be fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated. Please return your seat backs and tray tables to the upright position and open your window blinds for takeoff and landing.
So while pushback is happening,
mobile phones and electronic devices
airbleed is on,
must be set to
or
flight
AP bleed,
mode.
sorry. We can turn
Laptops and
ignition
larger
on,
devices
and we can
should be
start the
securely
engines. So
stowed
2
during
banks,
takeoff and landing.
1 and 2 first.
Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes are prohibited anywhere on board, including the lavatories. Oxygen
let's
masks will drop
stop the
automatically
pushback.
if needed. Pull the mask firmly,
Parking brake
place
back
it
on.
over your nose and mouth, and breathe normally. Remember to secure your own mask before assisting others. Life
Waiting
vests
for
are
the-
located under your seat. To put it on,
So,
pull it
same
over your
tensions,
head,
you can change the
fasten
volumes
it,
easily
and
these days.
inflate it
So we
only
can come
after
in here,
leaving
look.
the aircraft. Special life vests for children are available. Floor-level lighting will guide you to the nearest exit, which is clearly marked. There are 4 exits on this aircraft. 2 at the front and 2 at the rear. The nearest exit
Okay, it's
remains
waiting for the
behind.
engines to come up.
In case of evacuation, leave all personal belongings behind and follow the crew's instructions immediately. If any electronic device becomes hot or catches fire, please inform a crew member immediately. The safety information card
there's
in
the
your
first
seat
2
pocket
engines
contains
started.
all details. Thank you
No,
for
the
your
next 2
attention,
engines.
and we
So
wish
let's
you
go and get a
pleasant
few other
flight.
bits and bobs done. So, arming the ground spoilers. Predictive wind shear goes to auto, and you get kind of a laundry list up here now. Look at what to do. So we've armed the ground spoilers. TCAS is on standby. APU bleed is still on at the moment because we are firing the engines up. We haven't put the flaps into takeoff configuration yet. Let's go and double check that. So if we go and look in takeoff performance, you'll see flaps optimum. Flaps 1. There we go. So we'll wait until the engines are running because that gives us hydraulics. And then we'll request taxi. So we've got a question in the live stream. Someone's asking, can they join the flight? Unfortunately, in order to use Say Intentions, I have to switch off normal multiplayer aircraft, so I won't see you. And that is so I don't get doubles appearing. Okay, the engines are now up and running, and we can see the various notifications popping up. So TCAS standby, APU bleed is still on. So yeah, we've finished with the APU, now the engines are running. The bus transfer will automatically have happened, so APU bleed can come off.
42 core right, Lufthansa for hotel.
And that's all looking good. Generally on the Airbus is dark equals good. So we are going to go and get the taxi light switched on. So just checking the lights are good to go.
Request taxi to parking.
So we're still talking to ground. So we are here in the middle of apron B. And we are taxiing out to 24 left, which is this one.
Victor 4 Charlie Lima 6. Good day.
Are they going to respond? Apparently not. Ground Lufthansa 073 requesting taxi to runway 24 left.
Lima for Victor for Charlie.
He was just incredibly slow.
Skyflight 330.
Lufthansa 070, taxi to holding point runway 24 left via Victor 2, Bravo, Mike 8.
Taxi via Victor 2, Bravo, Mike 8 for holding point runway 24 left, Lufthansa 073. Okay, so straight ahead, the left-hand one of the gate entrances, so off the parking brake, ease the throttles forwards,
Tower, flyer 61 X-ray.
turn the head tracking on, make sure it's working, looks good. I'm just going out to the taxi line.
Alpine 78 Lima Bravo, give way to the Ryanair 737 MAX on your left.
So, further discussion about someone asking if they could join. If you're using Say Intentions, I will be able to see you and hear you on the radio if you're on the same frequency as me. So as long as you're obviously operating appropriately to the workings of the airport. So we are taking the first left here to take Bravo
Nordic
up to Mike 8.
1107, contact tower on 118.805.
Switching to tower, Nordic 1107.
Lufthansa 4 Hotel, contact tower on 118.805. Over to tower, Lufthansa 4 Hotel.
So we've got the final checks coming up. So we need to put the flaps to take off position, auto brakes to max, which just means it pressurizes the cylinders. Cabin checks have been done, so then we can do the takeoff config test. We can do it now, but it may time out. And now it's gone normal, so we'll see if it stays on normal. It may time out if you do it too early. We'll see. If any configuration changes at all, it won't be happy. So this is Mike 8 just coming, the first of the right turns here. So we will hold short.
Aerowings 67 Alpha, cross runway 24 right. Cross 24 right, Eurowings 67 Alpha.
Ground Lufthansa 073 holding short to runway, Mike 8 for runway 24 left.
Lufthansa 073, contact tower on 118.805 for departure.
Contacting tower 118.805 for departure, Lufthansa 073, good day. Let's just check the frequency has changed, 118.805, there it goes. Berlin Tower, Lufthansa 073, holding short, Mike 8 for runway 24 left.
Lufthansa 073 Heavy, Berlin Tower, runway 24 left, winds 270 at 11. Cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 24 left, Lufthansa 073. So we need to go and wait till we get nearer the runway and we'll go and stick the landing lights on. Strobes to on, not auto. Butterfinger strikes again. How many times can I miss that switch?
Approaching runway 24 left.
Alpine 32 Juliet Golf, winds 240 at
5th time lucky.
Runway 24 right, cleared to land.
Cleared to land.
So, straighten this view back up. Just straightening up. Yeah, look, the takeoff config is timed out. So, while we're here, we'll go and... Didn't take it that time. There it goes, config normal. So, I'm going to turn head tracking off for a moment. We're going to go and turn this to traffic advisory mode, so it will tell us if anything's nearby, but it won't react. And notice we've got an immediate left turn off the takeoff. So, parking brake off, flaps are good. Throttles to toga. Just waiting for the rotate speed to come through. A little bit of a crosswind, but not much.
V1.
and positive rate, so gear up.
Volvo Wings 3 Charlie Delta, contact ground on 121.705.
Autopilot on. Getting ready to pull gear. The throttle's back to the climb descent, which should be any moment.
Lufthansa 073, contact Berlin departure on 121.13.
Contacting Berlin departure 121.13, Lufthansa 073. Good day. We're doing the Suki for November, aren't we? So let's just check that's changed. 121.13, that's good. Berlin departure, Lufthansa 073 with you, climbing 5,000 feet on the Suki for November departure.
Lufthansa 073 Heavy, Berlin departure identified. Climb flight level 100, direct Delta Bravo 263.
That's that one there. Climb flight level 100, direct Delta Bravo 263, Lufthansa 073. So, flight level 100, open climb. We have to hold 220 knots as a constraint now, look. We can go and switch on TARA now. Looking good on the screens, no things I've forgotten, although I have forgotten to go and change the barometric pressure over to standard. So it was obviously 5,000 feet, the transition level, I hadn't checked that. There's always something, isn't there? If it's not your day job, you tend to forget things, or I do. Okay, we're climbing out. Let's have a look outside. Climbing away from Berlin. There's Berlin behind us.
Charlie 6 miles from Zamin, turn left, heading 215.
Let's increase the range on the navigation display.
Localizer cleared ILS runway 24 left approach.
Left to 215, down to 3,500 to established, cleared ILS runway 24 left approach, target 9 Tango Charlie.
Coming through 10,000 feet, so we can suddenly accelerate. The 250 knot limit will go away soon.
Lufthansa 073, climb flight level 180.
Climbing flight level 180, Lufthansa 073. Just come through 10,000 feet, landing lights can come off.
Dear guests, we are now in the air, and the use of approved electronic devices is permitted in flight mode. Our cabin service will begin shortly. Thank you for flying with Lufthansa today, and we wish you a pleasant journey.
There we go.
Lufthansa 194, contact Berlin Tower 118.805.
So we're off towards Heathrow. Let's have a little look at the route diagram. So we are closely following, very closely following the route. And yeah, so we'll head off across Germany. Let's have a look at the sim brief operational flight plan. We're climbing up to 34,000 feet, so we're not going too high. Bit of cloud along the way. Hopefully we won't get any icing to deal with. No, it's going to be clear above this look.
Berlin approach, Lufthansa 194, flight level 130.
Lufthansa 194 identified, expect the ILS runway 24 right approach.
So there's a question in the live stream: if somebody moves their community folder to a different drive, can they get it to work? Yes, you can. There is a setting you have to change within this. I'm not sure in 2024 if it's a setting in the simulator or if it's still a setting in a config file. But if you go Google it, there is a setting where you tell it the path to the community folder. It may well be in the settings of the sim these days. It used to be in a config file in 2020. And that's a very common pattern that people use where they put all the system stuff on the C drive and then they have a whacking great D, E or F drive or whatever they've got, which I may do soon. I've got a 4 terabyte C drive, so I've just got everything on there at the moment, and I keep thinking about getting another 4 terabyte D drive.
Identified, climb to flight level 100 now.
But NVMEs are quite expensive at the moment, so I'm kind of, I don't know. I loathe spending that sort of money on something that's, all it's going to do is give me more capacity.
Answer 073, contact Bremen radar on 125.3.
Contacting Bremen radar 125.3, Lufthansa 073, good day. So changing frequency to 125.3. He says, famous last words. There it goes.
Approach clearance before 1536. Just a few minutes.
Just have to be careful now not to stand on anybody else. Bremen radar, Lufthansa 073 with you, climbing through 17,500 for 18,000 feet. Or flight level 180 even. They should give us higher.
073, Bremen radar identified. Guten Tag, climb flight level 260.
Guten Tag, climbing flight level 260, Lufthansa 073.
Maintain flight level 110 for northeast.
Should we take the brightness down a bit on this screen? It's a bit crazy, isn't it?
Lufthansa 073, climb flight level 340.
Climbing flight level 340, Lufthansa 073. There we go. So that's us cleared up to cruise. We've got nothing to do now for the next hour. Other than watch the pretty aeroplane racing across the sky. So how many souls do we have on board? 238. So if we increase the range on the navigation display now, we can see there's our top of climb, about 60 miles out in front of us.
Eurowing 72 November, when ready, descend to flight level 150.
Interesting, why have we got that showing up at SAS? Let's go and have a look. Have we got a step climbing going on? Let's go and look at the flight plan. Oh yes, we have a look. We're up to flight level 400. So when I said earlier, oh, we're only going to 34 initially, and then we're climbing once we get through SAS to 40,000 feet, which is here. I didn't know it did that. So when you hover the mouse over it, it tells you the identity and the planned altitude at that point. And that's really cool, isn't it? Anyway.
Bremen radar, Lufthansa 194, descending flight level 180 for flight level 140.
Right.
Lufthansa 194, Bremen radar identified.
While we're flying along, shall we have a look at some of the status screens just to see how everything is looking? So there's the engines, there's the bleed system,
contact Berlin approach on 121.13,
cabin pressurization system,
contacting Berlin approach
AC
on
system,
121.13, Scandinavian 790.
DC system, the hydraulics. The APU is obviously off at the moment. Doors, you would hope they'd all be closed, wouldn't you? There's the wheels, the flight control systems, and the fuel. And if you press it again, so you've got nothing lit up, you get the hybrid display that's used as a summary during the flight. Obviously it will change and show you if anything's actually gone wrong, but it's good to have a look around now and again. Okay, so we're climbing out to 340. I'm going to go make a coffee. I'm going to hand over to Amanda, our lovely co-pilot today, and let her take over radio comms for a while. Hi Amanda, can you take over radio communications for a while, please?
Sure thing, Jonathan. I've got the radios now.
07, contact Warsaw radar on 133.18, so long.
We just did that in the nick of time, look, so she's going to handle the... Oh, that wasn't for us, that was somebody else. I thought they were calling us then for a moment. So, can we pull up a route map? Yes, we can. So if we zoom out on here, we should see, if we go to the right zoom level, yeah, you'll see the sector changes, which is quite useful to see. If we zoom out a bit further, there we go, perfect. So we'll see the points where we'll be anticipating switching over to different controllers. Very good. So I'm going to leave you in the cockpit with Amanda. I'll move the view slightly so you get a nice view of what's going on. And I'm going to go make a coffee. So I'll be back with you in a few minutes. I'm just going to check the live stream comments to see if there's anything I need to answer. So someone's saying, question, career mode, after doing CPL, what specializations would you do first? Do whatever you are interested in. If you go after things that you're not interested in, it will turn into a chore. But I went after all of them, to be honest. And I went immediately to try and like knock out as many as I could.
Lufthansa 7 Whiskey Juliet identified.
There's also a nice program that now is it Volanta are doing?
Quad TV 216
or Simbrief? I can't remember who. It might be Volanta that's got the flying lessons and the certifications.
Flight level 70, FTV 216.
It might have been Simbrief, I can't remember. I'll have to look it up and do a feature about it. I did a little bit about it when it first came out. Right, coffee time. See you in a few minutes.
Lufthansa 1 Lima Alpha at flight level 240.
Lufthansa 1 Lima Alpha identified. Good evening.
So just answering the question that's popped in about the A340s, I actually prefer the Inibuilds A340 over the Aerosoft A340, because the Aerosoft A340 is technically it's a bit better. It's got better systems in what's the word? Simulation. So there's more in the systems. That said, the Inibuilds one is more integrated into the simulator, so it is that bit more polished, a bit more entertaining to fly, a bit more fun. And yes, it's not as super accurate as the Aerosoft and Tolis A340, but I think it's a bit more fun to fly. It's a bit more polished. Anyway, they're both very good though. You know, I'm not detracting from either of them. They kind of aim at different crowds. If you were doing study level learning to go and fly the real thing, you would go and pick the Tolis collaboration with Aerosoft. But if you're just wanting an A340 to charge around the skies in that looks good, for the most part behaves correctly, then the Inibuilds one is very, very good. Anyway, I'm going to go make that coffee now, honest. See you in a minute.
Ryanair 4 Delta Zulu, contact Warsaw radar on 133.1, so long.
Switching to 133.18, Ryanair 4 Delta Zulu.
TV 216. We've got things all cleared out. Clear to leave the hold at Baku. California 08 Papa Lima, contact landing radar on 127.725.
Landing radar will leave the hold at Buffalo, FTV 216.
FTV 216, contact approach on 120.54.
One 127.725. Have a good evening, Cena 08 Papa Lima.
Watch DV 216, contact approach on 120.54.
Contact approach on 120.54.
Dear guests, we are pleased to inform you that our cabin crew will now begin the snack and beverage service. Today, we have some delightful options from our Lufthansa menu, including our signature pretzels and a selection of fine wines. After the service, selected items from the Lufthansa shop will also be available for your enjoyment. Thank you for flying with us, and we hope you have a pleasant experience.
Lufthansa 8 Alpha Uniform at flight level 180. Lufthansa 8 Alpha Uniform, Roger.
Okay, I've just jumped back in the cockpit for a moment. Just having a look. We're coming up to SAS where we get the climb. So if they don't instruct us to climb, I will jump in and ask them. We got a company message just come through as well. Oh, we've exceeded a speed limit on the way up, look. We'll ignore that. That's a fault of the aeroplane not following the flight plan properly, because it was all programmed in. It's quite commonly these aeroplanes, the Inibuilds airplanes, will go to... Yeah, look. So it's interesting it's so far away from 300, but anyway. Is it following? Yeah, it's on the flight plan. So anyway, we need to go MCDU, ATSU, let's go and clear this message. And then AOC. And then receive messages. And it's the ADC hours for the delay reporting. So no ADC required yet. We took off in a timely manner. We are not behind time. So if that does ever happen to you and you have to report it with a number of minutes, if you go and look in the tablet and go to My Flight, there's a view delay card, and that gives you the codes for the types of delay for you just to file it. It's just project management gone mad, to be honest. So I'm very used to that in my real world day job. So we're just approaching SAS, and then we'll get clearance to go higher. So I will be back with you in a moment. I'll go and fetch my coffee there.
Bremen radar, China Southern 3004 at flight level 340.
China Southern 304, good evening. Emirates 5 Whiskey Romeo, contact Munich radar on 124.6. Have a good afternoon.
Switching to 124.6, Emirates 5 Whiskey Romeo.
Scandinavian 1697, climbing flight level 220 for flight level 240.
Scandinavian 1697, identified. Good afternoon. KLM 95 Tango, climb to flight level 360, report level.
Out to flight level 340.
I've just reset my headphones, and you will notice the US. I've noticed this bug a few times in the simulator, just making sure everything's still on. Make sure the sound is still coming through. I've just reseated my headphone jack. With me putting the headphones down and picking them up again, it caused the headphones to go crazy. There we go. So, and then when you re-establish a USB connection, it makes every control in the aeroplane flutter. I don't know if anyone else has ever noticed that. So we're just coming through SAS in a moment. 7 or 8 miles away.
Lufthansa 6 Kilo Lima, radio 5.
So someone's saying I don't think Flight Simulator runs on Macs. Well, it will if you run something like Parallels or whatever they call it these days. So you can turn a Mac into a PC, can't you, and boot Windows on it, and therefore you could run Flight Simulator on it. Because Macs have got Intel hardware the same as PCs these days. Power PCs were 20 years ago. Bremen radar, Lufthansa 073, about to pass SAS, requesting higher.
Lufthansa 073, climb approved, maintain flight level 400.
Climbing flight level 400, Lufthansa 073. I just stepped all over.
Descend to flight level 320.
I just stepped all over Amanda, didn't I? Maybe they've improved that. I hadn't noticed that before. If I make the request and then respond, maybe Amanda doesn't jump in and respond. Maybe it's intelligent. That's rather clever. Okay, we really have got some time now, so I'm going to go and increase the range.
33 Kilo Quebec, climb to flight level 320.
And you will see
Climb flight level 320.
there's the halfway point of the route where it would be as quick to go home as it would to carry on. There's top of descent, 250 miles out in front of us. So let's just check that Amanda really is still looking after the radios. Hi Amanda, are you okay to carry on looking after the radios?
Absolutely, Jonathan. I'll keep handling the radios for now.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Jonathan. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Uniform traffic 1 o'clock and 2 miles, crossing right to left.
I was about to ask Amanda if she's got any peanut M&Ms on her, but I don't think that's a very professional thing to ask.
Sensor 8 Alpha Uniform, descend flight level 140, pilot's discretion.
I gave away my half a bag I had left of peanut M&Ms to my daughter last night because she was hungry. And now I wish I hadn't. So, we have some questions on the live stream. Are you turning off flight sim traffic with Say Intentions? Yes, I am. Otherwise, you get doubled up traffic. Which is why you won't see me in the sky. Or you may see me, but I won't see you. I'm not sure how that works. I've turned the quantity of traffic down to 0. So if you were hoping to bomb the live stream and fly in front of me for 100 miles, it's not going to happen, I'm afraid. Or you could do it if you are using Say Intentions, then you would appear, because it would inject your aircraft in along with all of the rest of the AI aircraft, and I would hear you on the radio, but then you would be breaking separation rules. So Amanda should deal with that for us.
Contacting Bremen radar on 128.76.
There she goes.
073.
So, I don't know. I'm just reading the live stream comments. Someone's asking, quick question, do you need a Windows PC or a laptop to run Flight Simulator, or do you think a Mac is powerful enough? It very much relies on the machine. I'm just going to go search it. I'm going to go Google it, which you could have done. And I'll just go and put it into Gemini. If you run Windows 11 on a Mac, e.g. in Parallels, can you run Flight Simulator 2024? No. You cannot run Flight Sim 2024 locally in Parallels desktop on a Mac. The hardware translation and software compatibility barriers prevent 2020 from running natively inside a virtual machine. So the DirectX 12 requirement is the stumbling block. 2024 requires native DirectX 12 hardware acceleration. Parallels Desktop relies on translated graphics drivers and only supports up to DirectX 11. But if you don't use Parallels, if you use a different route, you could get away with it. So there's an app called GeForce Now via the browser. It runs a Windows GeForce Now inside Chrome on Mac and Parallels to stream at high resolutions.
Good evening.
That requires a PC to stream it into it, though. That's rubbish. Let's ask then, are there other ways of booting Windows on a Mac that would allow DirectX 12 to work? Yeah, since Apple went to their own silicon, you can't do it anymore. So DirectX 12 just will not work on a Mac because of the M series silicon.
Airwings 7 Delta Bravo flight level 220.
It's not, just reading the live stream comments there, it's not that a Mac will prevent Flight Sim from running, it's that Flight Sim requires DirectX 12. Or Flight Sim 2024 does. And a Mac cannot support DirectX 12. So, no. And to be honest, the amount of money you'd have to spend on a Mac to get one fast enough to run 2024, you may as well go and buy a PC. Because you could get a PC much cheaper than a Mac of the equivalent speed. That said, because of all the AI lunatics out there buying up all of the high-powered GPUs and RAM, buying any computer these days is twice as expensive as it was 18 months ago. I noticed that, was it about 2 weeks ago, that Microsoft and Sony both upped the price of the Xboxes and PlayStations by a significant amount because they can't source the chips, because the AI lunatics have used them all. I'm guessing the next thing that will happen, and this is touching on politics, which I'm not going to get into on the channel ever, but the next thing you can see happening is the countries that have the rare earth metals that are used in chip production will all fall out with each other, and then the fun and games really will start. I think it's China is one of the countries that has an awful lot of the rare earth metals, but then there's various other countries as well that have got things like cobalt. So if we keep on down this road of all the countries falling out with each other, then computer development will stagnate for many decades probably. It's a shame, really.
Raven radar, Lufthansa 8 Alpha Uniform, flight level 180.
Anyway.
Lufthansa 8 Alpha Uniform, Raven radar identified.
So just coming up to flight level 400, and we are at cruise. So we can go and turn off the seatbelt signs. It's on auto anyway, but we can go and turn them off. And people can go to toilet. Let's have a look from outside, see what the airplane's looking like. Oh, I just pressed tab, or backspace, sorry, on the Mac keyboard, not on the PC. I've got a Mac next to the PC here on my desk.
Pretty bumpy at flight level 180, moderate turbulence, Lufthansa 8 Alpha Uniform.
Why are the engines winding down?
Can I get you anything to drink or a small snack, Captain?
I've got a 37 knots headwind. We're good, thank you, but thank you for offering.
Of course, Captain.
So yeah, if I started to tell everybody that the computer hardware around this room, they would burst out laughing. So I've got this, obviously, this monster PC that the notes are in the video. The notes are on the end of all of my videos with what the spec is of the hardware I'm running. So there's the monster PC that's running Flight Simulator that you're watching right now. Right next to it, there is a MacBook Air that was second-hand.
Radar on 129.175, Lufthansa 073.
And I'm using that MacBook Air. Typically I use a Chromebook to do this job, but for some reason I couldn't find it today, so I put the MacBook there. So there's a laptop sits there just with a view of the live stream, so I can see the comments. Across the desk from
Landing
it.
radar, Lufthansa 073 Heavy. Good evening, at flight level 400.
So
Lufthansa 073, landing radar identified. Good evening.
So across the desk from it, there is a Mac Mini that I use as my daily machine, basically, that has got email and calendars and documents and everything is on there. And a Pocket Sky is running on an iPad in front of the monitor. So touchscreen, obviously, so I can change radio frequencies easily and read back without polluting the screen with the Say Intentions app because my short-term memory is shocking. So having Pocket Sky available to me is a wonderful thing. Going around the room slightly, so there's another desk adjacent to me. That's my work desk, and it's got my work laptop, monitor and keyboard on it. So that's just a typical Dell laptop.
ground for flight level 340 for
Adjacent to that desk is another desk, so 3 desks in the same room, and on the corner of that desk is a 20-year-old or 25-year-old iMac. Is it, how old is it? Yes, it's from about the year 2000. Yeah, so it's 25 years old at least now. There's an iMac. We got it from a clearance of a school, and it had been in a cupboard and never used. So the only thing that had gone wrong with it is the bearing on the hard drive was wearing out, where it had just been sat for 20 years. So I replaced the hard drive in the iMac and used Super Duper to copy the contents across. So I've got an iMac that works perfectly. And I've got it wired up to a zip drive that I acquired off of eBay, because I've got a load of zip disks from a job I had 20 years ago. Or 25 years ago. Next to it on that desk, this will make everybody laugh, is a Commodore 64 with a Philips CM8833 Mark II monitor that I acquired from eBay specifically to plug into the Commodore 64. But at some point in the not too distant future, I am on the lookout for an Amiga. I would love an Amiga. When I was growing up, I had an Atari ST, and I had friends who had Amigas, and it was obvious back then that the Amiga was decades ahead of its time. And even it's amazing when you look at them now and you realise the interface and the multitasking capabilities the Amiga had. It was way ahead of anything. So one day I'm going to get an Amiga 1200 and plug it into that monitor, and you'll probably not see any videos from me for a while at that point. The Commodore 64 is great fun. It's the modern remake of it using the field programmable gate array FPGA chip. It's from Commodore.net. I have been looking at their mobile phones as well. So there's a question on the live stream: which GPU would be enough for Flight Sim 24? The fastest one you can possibly afford is the best one that you know, there's no other way of saying it. You throw as much money as you can at Flight Simulator if you want a good experience with it. And if you can't afford to go the PC route, go the Xbox route instead.
Ryanair 5XL Charlie, laying down radar, identified.
Obviously the Xbox route comes with shortcomings in terms of, you know, what you can do with third-party add-ons, and the PlayStation 5 route is even worse. So the PlayStation 5 has, I think, a bit more grunt graphically than the Xbox, but I think the the integrations work better than they do on PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 is far more limited. You can only see multiplayers of other PlayStation 5 users, whereas on the Xbox you get to see PC and Xbox users in multiplayer.
Polo 335, contact Brussels Control on 125.0. Have a good evening.
Brussels Control 125.0. Have a good evening, Polo 335.
I'm just trying to think what else is around this room that might be of interest to you. I've got a DVD player. I'm probably the last person in the universe to have a DVD player. I've also got an enormous, what used to be a television in the lounge. We upgraded the television in the lounge, so I acquired the old one and bought the fittings for the wall. It's hanging above Flight Simulator, and it's the size of both of the Mac and the PC monitors added together. But I can't think of a decent use for it other than to play music videos all day long.
Lufthansa 073, contact Amsterdam radar on 11.
I mean, I could plug it in and...
contacting Amsterdam radar on 118.805. Lufthansa 073.
I could, I guess, plug it into the Mac and go and put a web browser up there with Navigraph sat on it, so I can see a moving map while I'm flying, but I can't see the point, to be honest.
Amsterdam radar. Austrian 310, flight level 180 for flight level
Amsterdam radar,
200.
Lufthansa 073 Heavy. Good evening, maintaining flight level 400.
Lufthansa 073, Amsterdam radar identified. Good evening.
Austrian 31 Sierra, Madrid Sharpia, and flight level 180. Light S for higher.
The only problem with the 25-year-old iMac that sat behind me is they changed the encryption used by SSL, so HTTPS, so it can't really access anything on the modern internet anymore. So you have to go to insecure web servers to make anything internet related work on it, which is a bit of a shame. But the iMac itself runs absolutely perfectly, and because most of the software,
31 Golf, when ready, descend to flight level 140.
Because most of the software that was around for the iMac is now so old it's abandoned, you can get most applications for free for it. So there is an old version of Adobe Creative Suite that you can install on it that doesn't cost anything, that Adobe have essentially said, yeah, you can all have that one. So it's got, like, you know, the top line versions from 25 years ago of things like Photoshop and Illustrator and stuff like that. It's quite interesting to load it up and look at what's on it. But yeah, as I said, one day, and I'm keeping an eye out for this, the various factions in the story of the Commodore Amiga are sorting out their problems slowly, and I think most of that is due to the work that Christian Simpson has done to bring everybody back together.
Lufthansa 432, flight level 320.
Lufthansa 432 identified.
So I would imagine within the next 6 months or so there will be an announcement of an FPGA based Amiga 1200 arriving. But I'm not going to hold my breath, so in the meantime you can go and buy refurbished A1200s, but they cost, once you add on all the bits and pieces you might want inside them, they cost somewhere between £600 and £1,000 depending on what you go and do to them. Whereas I'm hoping that the FPGA based A1200, when it finally arrives, will be somewhere south of 500.
Delta 257 identified.
Anyway, I'll shut up about the retro computer stuff now. So 120 miles out from top of descent into London. Let's have a look on the map, see where we are. So we have raced across Germany, we've crossed into Dutch airspace.
KLM 77 Hotel, climb flight level 280.
Out of flight level 250 for flight level 280, KLM
Is
77
the
Hotel.
MCDU, it's doing the step climb, it was doing it automatically, that's quite clever. We can go and put in the data for London, I guess, get ahead of the curve for a change. So if I go and press shift space and zoom in, go to performance and next phase, there's the data for London. So we'll go over to Navigraph and go and get the information for London Heathrow, open the airport, go to the weather tab, the QNH 1023, 1023. Temperature on the ground in Heathrow, 24 degrees, lovely warm afternoon. Wind, 100 degrees, 7 knots. 100/7. And then the minima.
Level 320.
So let's go and have a look at the ILS chart.
432, good evening.
400 or ILS, look, we've got 200 feet as the minimum using radio. There we go, all done. We are good to go with the performance data for the approach. So let's go and have a quick look though, go back to the flight information. We're looking at the Loga 2 hotel arrival. Have we got many constraints involved in that? Yes, we have, look. So flight level 250 at Logan, then 160 at Sabre, then
flight level
340. Flight level 070, 220 knots constraint at the Lambourne VOR, and then drop in towards the ILS. So when we pass through the controllers, we will tell them all about this, that we're expecting the Loga 2 hotel with the Lambourne transition for the ILS runway 09 left approach. So if we tell them that, hopefully we can nudge them into letting us do it, so we won't have to change anything. Hi Amanda.
KLM 1225, climb flight level 240. Up to flight level 240, KLM 1225.
So when we get past Abned, I'll have a conversation about descending with the controllers, and I'll take over comms from Amanda. Is that going to be...
ready for departure.
Yeah, so we'll begin descending before we go back into London airspace.
KLM 767, contact London Control on 121.23. Have a good afternoon.
121.23. Have a good afternoon. KLM 767.
Speedbird 853 Sierra, contact London Control on 121.23. So long.
Switching to 121.23. Speedbird 853 Sierra.
Lufthansa 5 Echo Foxtrot, flight level 230.
Lufthansa 5 Echo Foxtrot, Amsterdam radar identified. United 927, roger.
Lufthansa 432, flight level 320.
Lufthansa 432 identified.
Take off runway 07. Lufthansa 150. Cleared for takeoff, Lufthansa 151.
KLM 37 Juliet, descend to flight level 150 at your discretion.
Down to flight level 150, KLM 37 Juliet.
Okay, haven't got much to do until we start descending, but we'll wait till we get to Abned.
Speedbird 438 Whiskey, descend to flight level 120, pilot's discretion.
Out of flight level 260 for flight level 120, Speedbird 438 Whiskey.
Okay, let's let the co-pilot know that I'm going to take over radio comms. Hi Amanda, I'll take over radio comms now, please. Did she hear me? Are you there, Amanda?
Hey Jonathan, how's it going? Anything you need from me?
I will take over radio communications now.
Austrian 31 Sierra, contact Langen radar on 128.555. Have a good evening.
128.555, Austrian 31 Sierra.
So, we've done the destination data, which is why it's not saying anything about it. We know all about the arrival in, standard terminal arrival route. It's just a gradual descent all the way in. Should be fairly straightforward. Get to fly right over the top of London. So if you go and look on a normal map, you get to see that. Look, we're going to be right past, oh actually we're a little bit north of the city, but it should be quite cool.
Air France 82 Papa Tango, contact Brussels control on 125.0 so long.
And then fly around the back of Maidenhead, which is interesting. So the approach we're on, I live there. So we often see aeroplanes circling over the town on the approaches into Heathrow, so I'm on one of those approaches, which is quite interesting to me, I guess. So just coming over the coast, see top of descent marked in. Let's go and bring the range down on the navigation display. Constraints are still switched on, so we'll see anything we need to know about along the way. We'll do a managed descent.
Air France 46 Golf November, contact Brussels control on 125.0. Have a good afternoon.
Switching to 125.0, Air France 46 Golf November.
How are we doing actually on the... yeah, so we'll have estimated 7 tons of fuel left when we get there. That's loads.
Lufthansa 432, climb to flight level 360.
Climbing flight level 360, Lufthansa 432.
Lufthansa 073, descend via Logan 2 Hotel to flight level 070 into Heathrow.
Descend via the Logan 2 Hotel to flight level 070 into Heathrow, Lufthansa 073. So, we're a little bit early, so we're not going to do it just yet, but we can go and dial in the 7,000 feet and then use managed descent in the Airbus cleverness to get us down and follow the constraints. So if we go and look, you can see all of the constraints are programmed in.
Lufthansa 073, heads up. The field's about to change runway configuration. Approach will most likely still give you runway 9 left as they shift.
Copy that. We'll listen out for any changes to the approach, Lufthansa 073. So we may get a different approach after all. We'll find out, won't we? And that's where knowledge of how to reprogram this in the sky comes in really useful. So I think Chris in the live stream comments is saying that he's brand new to the sim. This is a third-party aircraft from Inibuilds.
Speedbird 137 at flight level 340.
So it's very, very similar to the stock A320 in terms of operation, because the stock A320 is actually remarkably good. But this is the A340, it's the bigger brother of the A320 obviously, so it can do transatlantic routes. We're flying over from Berlin to Heathrow today, and we're about to begin descending. You can see top of descent is coming on the navigation display. I've dialed in 7,000 feet. We're talking to air traffic services, so if you've not seen this before, I'm running a program in the background on the PC called Say Intentions, and Say Intentions provides artificially intelligent air traffic services staff over the radio. So you not only hear the controllers, you hear all of the other aeroplanes in the airspace around us. So Say Intentions is actually that we're the yellow aeroplane. All of these orange aeroplanes are being injected by Say Intentions.
Speedbird 996 Golf, climb flight level 320.
And they're all flying their own sensible flight plans around us.
Speedbird 996 Golf.
So when you look on here, actually we've got no traffic showing at the moment. It's probably because we're at too big a range to see them. That's rather interesting that we're not seeing any other traffic on here. That's something of a mystery. We were earlier. Oh, of course it won't show them if they're much outside your altitude range that you're at. That's the reason why. Let's go and bring this back up to 80 miles. So yeah, so Say Intentions obviously is providing what we're hearing over the radio, which differs enormously from the stock flight sim experience.
Speedbird 438 Whiskey, continue descent to flight level 140.
So we're just coming up in a few miles to the descent. So what I'm going to do is begin managed descent now by pushing that knob towards the panel, and it will drop at 1,000 feet a minute because we're going early before the top of descent. So there's our computed profile, so we are now moving below it. So it knows it could get down by following that green dot, so we're now falling below it. So let's go and put the seatbelt signs on.
We kindly ask everyone to return to your seats, stow your tray tables, and fasten your seatbelts. Please note that the use of the lavatories is no longer permitted at this time.
So while we are going early, it will only descend at 1,000 feet a minute. When that profile catches up with us, we will descend much more quickly. So the aeroplane is artificially inhibiting the descent.
Qatari 8151, contact Langen radar on 128.505 so long.
Langen radar 128.505. Have a good evening, Qatari 8151.
Okay, let's go and double check. We think we're runway 9 left into Heathrow, so we'll go and check the numbers on that. So let's pull up the Jeppesen chart for it. 110.3, 88 degrees. And we're just double checking. 110.3, 88 degrees, perfect. So that's all ready to go. Let's go and tell the controller we're descending actually. Amsterdam radar, Lufthansa 073 descending on the Loga 2 hotel, arrival towards London.
Climbing to flight level 360, Speedbird 996 Golf.
Lufthansa 073, descend at your discretion. Continue Logan 2 Hotel to EGL.
Continuing Loga 2 Hotel to EGLL, London Heathrow, Lufthansa 073. So yeah, the nice thing about say intentions over any of the other air traffic service solutions is it's organic. You can have conversations with it and it will make sense.
Austrian 7 Kilo, roger.
It's not scripted, that's the takeaway. So it's probably the best add-on you can get for Flight Simulator, in my opinion. Because once you've got around, you know, the actual part of flying the aeroplane, and you start adding layers and layers of extra stuff to make it a little bit more like the real world, the radio communication is the huge step for most people, and Say Intentions makes that really good, because it not only does the air traffic services stuff, it does the co-pilot, the cabin crew. You can have a mentor in the cockpit with you teaching you, you can have checklists,
Transavia 2X,
you can have a tour
descend
guide.
to flight level 180, pilot's discretion.
So you will notice now and again the VOR radios change frequencies and the needles spin around. The reason for that, if you didn't know, the big modern airliners don't rely on one source of information to navigate. They compare and contrast all of the sources at once. So they've got GPS, obviously, and it relies on that primarily. They've got the inertial navigation system. So you always see that being switched on early in the flight. So that measures acceleration, so it figures out where the aeroplane is based on where it was and how it's accelerated.
Amsterdam radar, channel 3 Bravo
but also,
Delta at flight level
if we go and switch on the VORs,
Channel 3 Bravo Delta identified, good evening.
we probably can't show them at this much range. There we go. So wait for them to appear. Oh, they were appearing, they just took a moment, didn't they? Let's go and up the range again. There you go, look. So you can see there's Clacton VOR, there's Detling, and so on and so forth. So what this is doing, you can see this is measuring Clacton at the moment, and you can see it there, look, CLN. It's triangulating from radio beacons as well, so it's using radio navigation in the background to confirm the GPS and the inertial guidance. So it uses all three at once. So it won't trust one system.
Delta 86, contact Langen radar on 128.555. Have a good morning.
So we're aiming to get to flight level 250 at Logan. The aeroplane's doing that on managed descent mode, and we're coming down nicely. So if we go and look at the map, we can get some idea. We should be going over to London Control any moment. So this is obviously Navigraph, piece of nice software that has Jefferson charts. It's handy for keeping track of your route for the commercial flights. I'm
Chanex 1737, descend flight level 220.
Also running LittleNavMap in the background. It's free. And it has nice features like being able to show where the other airplanes are.
Turkish 7 Quebec November Ridge.
It can also show sectors. So yeah, we're well inside the London Control sector.
Control on 134.125.
There we go. Contacting London Control 134.125, Lufthansa 073. Good day. So I'm going to change frequencies 134.125, and then we're going to pull up Navigraph to give them this and hint them the way we want this to go. London Control, Lufthansa 073 with you, descending on the Loga 2 Hotel, arriving into London Heathrow, expecting the LAM transition for ILS runway 09 left.
Lufthansa 073, London Control, identified. Good evening. Expect the ILS runway 9 left approach into Heathrow. Let me know you've got information. Golf.
Confirming we have information Golf, expecting the ILS runway 9 left approach into Heathrow, Lufthansa 073. There we go, we're good. It did stay the same. Okay, coming down to 25,000 feet in a few moments, which is on target for Logan, which is perfect. The aeroplane is looking after us.
Channel 1737, continue climb to flight level 320.
Something that struck me this weekend, because I've recorded several videos this weekend and put them away for a rainy day. Because I'm going on holiday, I'm going to have to be releasing content while I'm on holiday. I've been recording in the daytime for the first time in a long time. Usually you find me recording late at night or live streaming in the early hours of the morning, because that's the only time I usually get. And it has struck me how much more accurate I am when I'm awake. It's not something you would normally realise until you do things back to back, and you realise how many more mistakes I make when I'm tired versus when I'm wide awake. Oh, Lee has appeared in the live stream chat. Hi Lee, long time no see. Hope you're well. So you can see the profile has caught up with us during our descent, so we are now descending 2,400 feet a minute instead of 1,000 feet a minute. If we get too far behind this for any reason, the wind there's hardly any wind, look. It's very still outside. So the live weather over London is absolutely correct.
Scandinavian 506 out of flight level 240.
So we are going to fly right over the top of Marlow, where I live. So I'll probably be able to point at my house as we fly over, which will be quite amusing. If we're not too busy at the moment when it happens. So if we go and look on Navigraph, and if we go and remove the chart just for the moment, and put this on satellite, and then zoom in. So there's Marlow. We are going to turn around the town I live, and my house is there, and right into that hand. So we are literally going to circle the town I live in on the way into Heathrow.
London Control, United 927 at flight level 300.
So if you ever wondered why I used to do flights in the simulator from Wickham Air Park, it's because that's where I live, and there's Wickham Air Park. Okay, let's go and turn this back onto automatic, and then put the start in. There we go.
Contact Heathrow radar on 125.625.
Contacting Heathrow radar 125.625, Lufthansa 073. So let's just change the frequency, 125, there we go. And we'll pull this up. We're going to play the same game again of hinting them to make sure they give us what we want. Heathrow radar, Lufthansa 073, descending on the Loga 2 hotel arrival, expecting the LAM transition for ILS runway 09 left, Lufthansa 073.
Wilco, Lufthansa for Juliet Kilo.
Lufthansa 073, Heathrow radar identified. Good evening.
So we're kind of not really hacking the system, but we're hinting it heavily to make sure we get what we're after. Okay, we are below or behind, because we had to decelerate, look. We've fallen behind the descent, so I'm throwing the spoilers out to get the speed off and to get us back on the descent profile.
Continue climb to flight level 280. Flight level 280, Air Algeria 2055.
Because we'll need to get to 250 knots at 10,000 feet, obviously. Let's go and double check as well. If we go and look at Heathrow information, Open the airport, go to the weather. 1023 is the QNH. I'm sure they'll tell us, but it's just handy to know. Okay, so we're on speed and we're on profile for the descent. Let's bring the range down again, 40 miles now. It's the Lamborn VOR coming.
506, continue climb to flight level 280.
So transition altitude I think is 6,000 feet here. Let's just double check that. It'd be on the ILS chart, wouldn't it? Yes, transition altitude 6,000. So we switch away from standard barometric pressure at 6,000 feet. So someone's saying they are trying to press keys to get the custom cameras to work.
London Control, Swiss 7 Tango, flight level 210 for flight level 240.
Hang on, I can't answer at the moment, I'm too busy. But in all of my written procedures I've got a guide for setting custom views, and I've actually got a video. If you search my channel, there's a video specifically about setting custom views in 2024 somewhere, I think. So yeah, it's lifted the nose to decelerate and then obviously gone above the descent profile. So I'm just helping it to get back into shape by throwing the spoilers out. So if you want to see that happening, you can see, look, the back of the wings have lifted up. That's what's making all the noise.
Eurowings 5 Mike Uniform, identified. Good afternoon.
So we're still not descending fast enough. It's a big held heavy plane. It's actually quite sleek. It doesn't like... It's quite slippery, so it will overspeed. Look, you can see it's trying to do it. So we're going to have to ride the spoilers, I think, to make this profile. And it's raising the throttles rather than setting them to idle to slow down, which is frustrating. And again, look, it's...
Seabird 892, flight level 170 for flight level 200.
We're about to come through 10,000 feet, so landing lights go on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now beginning our final approach into London. Please turn off all electronic devices and stow them until we arrive at the gate. Ensure your train.
So if we look over here, we've got a little chart that tells us what speeds we can do. Flaps 1 at 255, flaps 2 196. So let's try it. It will give us some drag. Yeah, we can just about do it, look.
Thank you for your cooperation.
And there's other aircraft around us showing up on radar now that are within the same altitude range as us. So we go full spoilers to get the speed down to 220. There's Heathrow.
Proceed direct. Charlie Foxtrot 09er. Lima. Descent. Altitude 3,000 feet. Cleared for the ILS. Runway.
They want us to go direct Charlie Foxtrot. No way, not in this aeroplane. Heathrow radar, Lufthansa 073, unable to go direct Charlie Foxtrot 09er. This aircraft is far too big to make that turn. We are going to continue with the Lamborn transition for the ILS runway 09 left.
Scandinavian 506, climb flight level 360.
Leaving flight level 320 for flight level 360, Scandinavian 506.
Can't go flaps 2 yet. We're too fast at the moment. We're riding the spoilers all the way down.
Speedbird 293, climb to flight level 280.
Climbing flight level 280, Speedbird 293.
So they didn't respond to us. Heathrow radar, did you receive our message about being unable to make the Charlie Foxtrot 09 waypoint? We are going to continue with the Lambourne transition for ILS runway 09. So we're getting the standard flashing. We're at 7,000 feet. We're 1,000 feet away. Shouldn't be really flashing at us yet. Let's get the spoilers away. We're holding at 7,000 for the moment.
293, descend. Flight level 200.
They're not talking to us.
Descending flight level 200, Speedbird 293.
They're giving us the silent treatment on the radio. That's quite amusing. So let's have...
Climb to flight level 280, report level.
There's London.
Flight level 240 to flight level 280, flyer 11 Alpha.
It's a big old heavy lump, isn't it, this aeroplane? There's London City. There's the Shard.
Climb flight level 360.
Leaving flight level 330 for flight level 360, Speedbird 5 Victor Yankee.
So we're holding 7,000 feet. We've got landing lights are on. Just double checking things. Paranoia is setting in. It keeps flashing standard. It's not true. We're not at 6,000 feet yet. We'll get to 6,000 on the next corner. It's obviously programmed incorrectly inside here somewhere, and I'm not going to go delving around with it right now. We imported from Simbrief. It should have picked that up.
Speedbird 5 Victor Yankee, when ready, descend to flight level 290.
So, let's sit up properly.
290, Speedbird 5 Victor Yankee.
So here's our route. Let's bring the range down to 20 miles. Let's put the landing system instrumentation on so we get the localizer and glide slope. We're getting there.
Easy 48 November Foxtrot, flight level 180 for flight level 200.
Easy 48 November Foxtrot, identified.
So if you, just looking at the live stream comments about the views, if you have switched your keyboard profile to anything other than the Flight Sim 2024 profile, don't expect anything to work properly. So a lot of people switch from 2020 and they change the profile for the keyboard to the 2020 profile in 2024, not realizing they'd switched off 90% of the new features on the keyboard, or the the new capabilities of being able to rotate and translate and flick things on or off in aeroplanes. So a lot of it will have gone out the window. So that's why I made the same mistake. So when I first had 2024, I thought, oh, I can carry on with the 2020 key bindings,
Control,
and then realized it had messed up half the aeroplanes because there were keys that weren't mapped. So I very quickly realized, okay, I just have to go and relearn and get ready to use 2024 now instead of 2020 and throw that whole part of my head away, which I did. And okay, it was painful for a couple of hours, but you soon get used to it. Let's get the range down on the co-pilot side as well. So we're holding speed and altitude for the moment, and then we'll be turning in for finals very soon. We've got a really steep descent round here. And mind you, we'll have the flaps down by then, so that should help. But there's no speed constraints around that corner, are there?
Contact.
What's it got programmed?
On 135.5. So long.
It won't actually start slowing down until it gets to 09 left, which is at 3,000 feet. Somehow we've got to get to 3,000 in the space of a few miles with a massively heavy aeroplane. We're going to have the spoilers out, aren't we? So Lee's saying request descent. No, we'll follow the procedure as written. We'll be okay. We'll get it down.
Scandinavian 506.
We just have to do things in a timely manner. You see the VOR's just been picked up. It's now it's gone for the Bovingdon VOR now.
118.805. Have a good evening, Scandinavian 506.
It's interesting that, yeah, so Bovingdon is just to the north of us. Yeah, that makes sense. It's interesting this is flashing. Yeah, like I said, obviously it's got 7,000 feet somewhere in its head. Whenever we just tip above 7,000, it stops flashing. And if we go a few feet below, it starts flashing. I'll have to, after the flight, go and have a dig around in the MCDU to see where the transition level is set. Is it in the... We've got a few seconds. Let's go and have a quick look.
Air Canada 857, right
there it is.
At flight level 350.
Air Canada 857. Roger.
It will stop complaining now.
Flight level 350.
So we need to dial in 6,000 feet. And manage descent. Actually, let's go open descent. So it's going to go as fast as it can. I don't trust the manage mode when you need to get things done. Let's go and throw the spoilers out. It's already falling behind the profile, look.
Speedbird 788, climb to flight level 360. Report level PET.
Flight level 360, Speedbird 788.
So we're going to carry this round to 3,000 feet. Open descent. We're actually getting ahead of the game now, which is quite cool. So we'll go speed and take ourselves down to a slower speed so we can get the flaps down, which will give us more drag. So throw the spoilers out to get to that speed, otherwise we've got some leeway now on the profile, which is fine. We want to get to 3,500 feet for the next waypoint.
94 Hotel Bravo, contact. Breast control on 124.065.
Flaps are travelling. We can go now for local barometric pressure. We've come down through. There, that's fine. So let's go for 180 knots. Yeah, it's coming down nicely. Okay, let's go and get the light on as well on the nose leg. We're coming down. There goes the glide slope. We need to get to 2,500 feet. We've got spoilers out. We've got... Okay, we're dropping below the glide slope. That's cool. Let's go and let them know. Heathrow radar, Lufthansa 073 engaged on localizer, runway 09. Or 09 left, sorry.
2,500.
Lufthansa 073, clear to continue the localizer runway 09 left approach.
Continuing localizer runway 09 left approach, Lufthansa 073. So hopefully they'll hand us over to tower in a moment. Don't need the spoilers out anymore.
Lufthansa 073, contact Heathrow Tower on 124.48.
There we go. Contacting Heathrow Tower 124.48, Lufthansa 073, good day. Let's go and check 124.48, there it goes. Heathrow Tower, Lufthansa 073 with you, engaged on the localizer, runway 09 left.
Lufthansa 073, expect late landing clearance, runway 09 left.
Expecting late landing clearance, runway 09 left, Lufthansa 073. Let's get off the autopilot now, whoops. And that will set off an alarm. We have to press the red button on the stick to stop the alarm. And this is me now. It's all my fault.
Speedbird 856 Zulu, contact departure.
Okay, switching to departure, Speedbird 856 Zulu.
So we're losing some speed.
07, holding short, A350, holding on the runway. 2,000.
Golf Yankee Zulu Yankee. Uniform, winds 360 at 3, runway 9 left.
We have to
Cleared
press
for
that button
takeoff.
to make the alarm shut up.
Cleared for takeoff, 9 left, Golf Yankee Zulu Yankee uniform.
Okay, we're on the glide slope, we're on the localizer, everything's looking good. Holding 160 knots. We could probably go 150, couldn't we? There's hardly a breath of wind. I was saying that, look, it's crept up to 8 or 9 knots now. So gear is down, flaps are down, everything's looking okay.
Lufthansa 07 requesting clearance for takeoff, runway 27 left.
They still haven't given us clearance, have they? They said it would be late, but this is getting very late.
1,000.
There's an aeroplane going onto the taxiway. I hope he stays out of my way. We're dropping a little bit low.
Lufthansa 073, expect late landing clearance, runway 09 left.
Expecting late landing clearance, 9 left, Lufthansa 073. They better be quick.
Left winds 360 at 3, clear to takeoff, Lufthansa 07.
Lufthansa 073, heavy, runway 09 left, winds 360 at 3, cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 09 left, Lufthansa 073. That was late, wasn't it? It's a little bit bouncy in the air. It's those few knots of wind over the trees are pushing us around.
$100, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Speedbird 9 Charlie Juliet, contact departure.
Okay, switching to departure, Speedbird 9 Charlie Juliet.
Reversers and spoilers and everything hanging out. Reversers off.
Lufthansa 073, welcome to Heathrow. Contact ground on 121.905.
Contacting ground 121.905, Lufthansa 073, good day. Why has it suddenly started stuttering? We'll just get clear of the runway, then we'll deal with the lights and everything, and call the ground. There's nothing coming, is there?
Ladies and
Speedbird
gentlemen,
37
welcome to
Juliet,
London.
winds
Did you know that
360
London
at
is home
4,
to the
runway
oldest
9
underground
right,
railway system
cleared
in
for
the world,
takeoff.
known as the Tube. Thank you for flying with Lufthansa
Takeoff 9
today.
right, Speedbird
Please
37
remain
Juliet.
seated
Okay,
until
let's
we
just
reach
hold
the
it here for a
final
moment.
position. On
Get
behalf
the lights
of the
off.
flight crew, thank you for flying with Lufthansa.
Back
The
to
local time here is 5:49 p.m.
Heathrow radar 125.65. Good day.
we need the chart, don't we? So we can see where we're going. And then contacted ground 121905. Actually, we ought to check I've got the frequency right. 121905, that's correct. Heathrow ground, Lufthansa 073, holding at Lima 12, requesting taxi to the gate, please.
Lufthansa 073, taxi to Terminal 2B, Gate 236, via Link 12, Bravo, Kilo. Good day.
Taxi Terminal 2B, Gate 236, via Link 12, Bravo, Kilo. Lufthansa 073. So, Terminal 2B is over here. We're over here. So we go via Link 12, which is there. And then Bravo and Kilo. So Bravo and Kilo.
Scandinavian 810,
so left turn, right turn,
124,
and over to here. And we want Terminal 2B, Gate 236. So let's ask, this is one of the lovely integrations that they've done with Say Intentions with Navigraph. Hi Amanda, can you get the parking stand diagram for Terminal 2 for Heathrow, please? There it is.
No problem, got the chart up.
So 236 is right in the middle. Okay, that's easy then. So left turn. Clyde? I can't resist saying that, I'm sorry.
Air Canada 859er, request push and start.
Air Canada 859er, pushback approved. Face southwest.
Pushback approved. Face southwest, Air Canada 859er.
Oh, we got a race going on with a van. You always wanted to lead a parade. So I think that's 2B over there, isn't it? Where the other airplane is.
Speedbird 50 Golf Contact Tower on 124.48.
Going to tower, Speedbird 50, thanks.
I didn't want that, I wanted that. So, Bravo Kilo. So we can turn in here for it. And 246 is right in the middle, I think. 236 even, sorry. Wouldn't it be good if the vans could actually guide you? (232) I went and got the decent version of Heathrow from Inibuilds, which is why it's got all the really nice signage. We want 236. Is he in our parking spot? 233? No. We're in the middle of this one, aren't we? 235. There we go. 236 is this one.
Virgin 47 Golf Hotel ready for push and start.
Virgin 47 Golf Hotel, push and start at your discretion. Face southwest.
Push and start approved. Face southwest. Virgin 47
Overdid
Golf
it on the
Hotel.
brakes slightly.
Speedbird 8 Tango Delta Contact Tower on 124.48.
Over the tower, Speedbird 8 Tango Delta.
Parking brake on. Turn the head tracking off. So we're on the ground. We go back on the tablet to
Golf X-ray
ground equipment.
Alpha Quebec Juliet, contact
We
tower
will
on 124.48.
request chocks
124.48
attached
tower,
to
Golf
use the
X-ray Alpha
aeroplane.
Quebec Juliet.
Whoa, what happened to the rendering then? We'll accept the external power, then we can go and switch the engines off. So, I didn't want to move the flaps. That was just me with the mouse being clumsy. So then fuel pumps can come off. Didn't mean to click that one. Super clumsy today. Turn the inertial reference system off. Turn the crew oxygen off. Turn the nav lights off. I should have been a bit smarter about doing the taxi lights because people don't like getting blinded by them. Seatbelts off. No smoking signs off. Emergency exit signs off. We're pretty much there, I think. Okay. Hi cabin crew, you can begin disembarking the passengers. So let's go and request the jetway.
Copy, Captain. We will start the deboarding process now.
Attention all aircraft. India now, current QNH 1024.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at London Heathrow Airport. The seatbelt sign is now off. You may collect your belongings and deplane. Thank you for flying with us today.
Ah, so there's somebody else in Say Intentions that can see me on the ground. It's just saw me come in. Rather interesting. There we go. So we got the
Virgin
jetway,
47 Golf Hotel.
the jet
Taxi
bridge
to
connected.
Holding point runway 9 left via Golf Echo Alpha Alpha 12.
Let's go turn the radio off now. Our job is done. I'll leave the power on to the aeroplane. There's no point completely powering it down. If we had GSX, which I've never bothered with, to be honest, because everybody I know that uses it has nightmares with it, we could see the passengers trooping off the aeroplane by now. But we can come around the corner. Or is it the next door? Which door did we connect to? Yeah, it's the next one. So if we walk down past first class seating or business class, whichever this is, we should see the door open and the jet bridge sat there. There it is. Hooray! It works. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you enjoyed that today. So that was a live stream from Berlin back to London Heathrow in the Airbus A340 from Inibuilds. The version of Heathrow you're seeing here is the Inibuilds version of it. And the version of Berlin you saw came, I believe, from Aerosoft. So while we are here at Heathrow, I've not seen it myself yet. Let's go and press Shift and X and get the drone camera. And I'm not sure how you rotate this, so bear with me. There we go. Now, I know from experience that this version of Heathrow is a bit of a masterpiece, and it's yeah, you can see it stuttering. It's a monster, and the reason for that is if we go and jump down through the roof in here, it's got the whole airport modelled at a ridiculous level. Not just this floor, all the floors. So obviously we can fly down through the terminal, but this isn't the worst one, or the most impressive I should say. So all of the exteriors are modelled. I'm heading down to Terminal 5. So look at that. That's nuts, isn't it? You could spend an hour looking around this airport and just goggling at it and saying, oh my word, what have they done? So here's all the Virgin flights going into the US, I would imagine. There's the tower. It's mad, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. And the modelling of the people is very good as well. Anyway, sidetracked. We're carrying on down towards Terminal 5. So obviously you never notice any of this stuff normally. Because you just go and park at the gate and say goodbye to the simulator. But if you go and buy some of these third-party airports, the premium versions from Inibuilds, you better hope you've got a Cray supercomputer to render them. Because even my machine is struggling. So let's start down this side, shall we? The entire of Terminal 5 has been modelled in extreme detail. And it's not just like there's one floor, there's multiple floors in Terminal 5. If we go and sit out alongside the armature of the building, you can see, look, this is madness. Absolute madness. Oh, I think the simulator just had a massive stutter. So there's occasional 3D problems. Look, there's some bugs. But if we fly along the glass, it doesn't like it. Yeah, that's probably limitations in the 3D modeling structures. If we stay at high level and fly along, it won't happen. It's mental, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. This is one corner of one building, and the whole thing has been done to this level. It's just absolute insanity. So anyway, there you go. So that was Heathrow. And look at the size of Heathrow. It's nuts, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to leave it there. That was a nice way to finish the flight, wasn't it? To go and have a drone flight around Heathrow. I'll see you all again soon. Thank you ever so much for watching along. Hopefully you found something of interest in there. So that was the A340 from Berlin to Heathrow. See you again soon.